Hello, I am back. Um, I wanted to get a collective reading in here. I've been actually really lucky and blessed to have a lot of personal readings on my plate right now. I'm really excited about that and for the opportunity to do something meaningful for someone and hopefully help in any way. But with that being said, with that taking up a lot of my time lately, I wanted to get a collective reading out to kind of break up my schedule here, among all the other, you know, normal life things I have to do, and we all have to do. So let's see, let's get into this and let's just see what this collective. And who knows, maybe the collective readings will actually be helpful to one of the people that are waiting for a reading or have already gotten one. So to confirm this collective, let's see what you're going through right now. Two of Cups in reverse. Make sure that's in the frame here. I really like the way my camera's set up. Hold on. That's a little better. Okay. So, Two of Cups in reverse. That to me is like, I'm feeling like disconnected. Not working together, not blending well together, something not coming together emotionally. This and cups usually have to do with emotion, so this feels like something, maybe conflicting emotions right now. Could be very confused emotionally about something. Let's see what else we got. That's a lot. Oh, maybe not. Oh, wow. Whoa. Okay. No wonder why you're Two Cups in reverse and confused and things aren't making sense and blending well together emotionally, because if the Tower's here, that shakes things up. Okay, the Tower with the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands is, she's in the card, you know, she's kind of walking away from things, but she's still kind of trying to carry everything. She's got it all with her. She may not be carrying it all herself, but there's still burdens there. But it's like learning to let go, or at least carry those, find different ways to carry those burdens, which is really what a Tower kind of does. It takes these confusing, conflicting emotions. It literally breaks them down to pieces, in a very painful way. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. Painful and sometimes abrupt. Like everything just kind of falls apart at once. But those conflicting emotions are usually what causes a Tower moment, because it's just something you can no longer reconcile within yourself. Let it be a core belief or emotional state or emotional reaction, whatever it may be. It's you kind of go through this Tower moment. It literally breaks you apart and forces you to kind of rebuild, and you don't necessarily get rid of the burdens, but you learn to carry them differently. You learn a better way to carry them with you, and to not let them weigh you down and hold you back. You could still move forward with, you know, it's because of a new mindset, a new perspective, a new way of making your emotions blend again. So this to me is feeling like it's something that already happened for this collective. To have the Ten of Wands after the Tower. I mean, they did technically come out together, but my intuition is it immediately saw this as the reason why you can do this is because of this. And the reason that this happened is because of this. So let's. Oh, I want to get. I want to clarify these some more, but I'm on the fence of whether I want to do it with more tarot or if I want to choose a different deck. I think I'm actually going to stick with tarot. Yeah. So let's clarify this Two of Cups and see if we can find out where the imbalance was that caused the Tower. Just to kind of, we want to make sure, I want to make sure I'm reaching the people that need the message I have to offer, and that it's actually helping the people that it needs to help. A lot of times we listen to readings, and of course everybody who gets into watching readings is guilty of this at some point until you kind of learn the discernment. We watch readings that we believe are meant for us, and we will try to make the details of the reading fit any way we can, sit here and rack our brains how it could fit into our story because we liked the outcome of the reading or we like the way the reading is going, so we want it to be ours. But discernment is one of the most powerful and important things you can have during healing, and especially with watching any kind of readings. Discernment is your best friend. It is a superpower. It is what will help you heal. Knowing when something is not for you, and but also being able to admit when something that is hard to hear is for you, and not trying to deny those things, because that just blocks your healing, and it's nothing to be ashamed of ever to admit that something needs to change. That's strength. So with that being said, any details that come up, the reason why I like to clarify in different ways, different decks and things, is just to make sure that these messages are getting out there to help the people that it's meant to help. I don't fully agree with, and I'm not one of those readers who will tell you to take what resonates and leave the rest. Although I do agree with that to a degree. I believe if you're listening to a reading and there is a lesson in there or a realization about your own self or your situation that hits you, and affects you and caught in a strong way, take that from the readings. Don't take the outcomes just because you like them and try to make the details fit. That's really all I mean. And by making the details fit, I mean as things pop into my head within the reading, and I mention them, for you as the person who's listening, it should kind of be like a penny dropping, like, oh yeah, and it should immediately bring you to a thought or a memory or something. It shouldn't be something you have to kind of think about and try to fit together. You know what I mean? So discernment is just important. Okay. I had to pause the video there for a second. You probably wouldn't even have noticed, but in case the cards are shifted or anything. I had someone came home and had to pause for a moment, but that's what I get for not having my own space yet, but we'll get there. Okay. Oh, that's too many. I want to clarify these cards, please. What does this collective have an imbalance, or did they have an imbalance with? Because it was, I feel, past tense. I'm just getting like this already happened. Which is, if it already happened, you would know it, because tower moments, they are hard. Okay. Okay. The King of Swords, clarifying the Two of Cups. Something changed in your thought pattern. Regarding, I'm feeling like this is in the way you deal with emotion, the way you, because the King of Swords, he's logical. He is, but he's also, like, you see, he's got all these different like animals around him. He has perspective, and he's high up in this mountain. He has perspective. He has logic. His thoughts are from experience, from this higher perspective, this higher understanding and logic in things. And I think that's where obviously that's where the imbalance was. But I think it has to do with how you dealt with emotion. Whether you were too logical in the past or not logical enough. Logical, I use that term loosely here. We don't always feel very logical. We're not all Vulcans. Sorry, I am a Trekkie. But with this being upright, I feel like the imbalance was almost too much logic. Kind of thinking you were seeing things clearly and making logical, emotional decisions, but maybe being too logical about things and not listening to your emotions enough. And that kind of conflict, imbalance, in the right conditions, when it's just become too much, absolutely could culminate in a tower moment. So let's get one for the tower. Clarify that. Maybe we can, what brought about the tower? Clarify that. The Three of Wands in reverse. The Three of Wands in reverse with the tower is making me feel, I don't think you saw the tower moment coming, which, I mean, let's be real, most of the time we don't see it coming. That's what makes it a tower moment, because it crumbles us and we don't see it coming. With the Three of Wands in reverse, it's feeling like the universe kind of shoved it on you. And maybe you didn't think you were ready for that particular lesson, for this particular change to occur. You didn't feel like you had everything you needed within you to get out of this and into this and deal and go through this tower moment. Or didn't think you needed to go through that kind of moment. But I'm getting more, having felt you weren't ready, so it was kind of an avoidant. There are always ways we can prepare for a tower moment, even when we don't know they're coming. When things start to fall apart, the quicker we learn to recognize the things that aren't working, the things that need to change, we can get ahead of our tower moment. It's still going to happen. Things are still going to fall apart. We're going to have to put it back together. But if you're able to see and kind of accept the signs of what needs to be changed before it all falls apart, it's less confronting and less less confronting. Still hard, but it helps to kind of know that it's something you're gonna have to deal with. And I think this collective, you were not ready. You were not ready to face that tower. Which, I mean, honestly, even without any denial and kind of knowing that things need to change, and we know that action has to be taken. It doesn't make the tower any easier. It still hurts, but the way it helps is it doesn't necessarily all happen at once. Having that kind of self-awareness that something needs to happen, but you're kind of avoiding it, there will be a point where the universe is like, nope, it's now or never. Like it, and I know that from experience. That will happen if you avoid your towers, or the things that you know what you need to do, but you don't think you're ready, either emotionally or mentally or whatever it is to do it, or you didn't, because obviously it feels like you did. So this collective would know exactly what I'm talking about, because it would have already been something that you were like, yep, I was not ready for that, but there it was, Alright, let's get, and everything I thought I knew was like, out the window. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, okay. Yes, that, exactly. The Six of Swords to confirm the Ten of Wands here. The Six of Swords is like, you finally kind of accepting help and kind of letting the past be the past, letting it, it was what it was, it's part of you, it helped make you on this journey, but you're kind of like, this card to me is like accepting the spiritual journey. It's being open to that kind of, okay, take me. You know what I mean? Like, lead me, show me what I need to do. And that is exactly that's what I feel. You weren't ready. It happened. Nothing you could do about it. And at this point, now that you've learned that you can kind of carry these burdens in a different way, and see things differently, you're like, take me. Let's, we're already on it. Let's keep going. Let's heal. So that is really good. So this is kind of like a collective who went from a mindset of maybe being over analytical, over logical, kind of always thinking that you saw things the right way, the logical way, and not leaving much room to mesh that emotion in with it, and really like let yourself be vulnerable with that, and let that be a part of your thought process, and not being ready to do that, but the universe saying, too bad. Something triggered this tower moment. So we can clarify more to find out what exactly changed this mindset. So I don't know if I want to go for my emotion card. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I want to get these and my shadow deck, and I'm also being called for that. Okay, we're just gonna see where this goes. All right, let's get I just want to make sure this gets to who it needs to get to, because especially if you're kind of just starting on a healing journey, I want this to be helpful. I want it to be healing, not just another message for you to listen to. I want to make sure these kind of messages reach someone they're meant to reach. So let's clarify some more. Obsession, infatuation, adoration, addiction. That with the King of Swords, I think that is clarifying the I wouldn't go as far as to say obsession, but it's feeling like an addiction more to that logical mindset. So that's confirming, the addiction to a thought pattern that you had. And it could be something you're still working on. Things like, honestly, a lot of people think healing means, the problem goes away, the feeling goes away, the pain, everything just goes away. That's not really healing. Even when you heal your skin, you leave a scar. There's a memory. There's a proof that it happened. There's something there, and with emotional and spiritual healing too, it's the same thing. There's, even if you the emotions don't stir up the way they used to, there's always a proverbial or a hypothetical, or I'm sorry, a scar, like some kind of scar that is that reminds you. And we never fully just make something go away. We just learn to look at it differently, to feel it differently, to react differently. And so you could still, kind of be fighting this logic over emotion type pull, push and pull, but you are learning to carry it differently, and you are kind of surrendering to this healing, this journey, or being open to changing that mindset. Let's get one for middle row. Emotional storm. I'm sorry, but for that to come out with the tower, yeah. Emotional storm, that is literally a tower. Turmoil, unstable, affected, just yeah, confirmation. This collective's been through it already. And not to say that you can't still be going through this kind of emotional storm, but this collective, I feel with this here, you're more at the tail end of it. But the memory's fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like, divine stop it right now. Thank you. Divine feminine in this row. You are learning to carry your emotions differently than this logic stricken cage you kind of kept your heart in, your emotions and your vulnerability. Divine feminine, that is, she's she's vulnerable, she's empathetic, she's she's in touch with her emotions. That that is what you are coming into alignment right now. That's what your journey is taking you on right now, to balance that kind of divine feminine and the logic that you already had. You're kind of, this is making me feel like your divine masculine energy. And let me just be clear that divine feminine or feminine masculine energy have nothing to do with gender, whether you're male or female. It's energy. Feminine energy is emotional, intuition, empathy, whereas masculine energy is more logic, stability, action. So you already had that, almost an obsession with it. You know, it was the way you felt you had to think, that rigid logic, kind of thing. And but with this here, that is what you're healing. You're letting your feminine energy, your divine feminine, out. You're setting that energy kind of free. That's incredible. This is the way my readings have been coming out lately has been unreal. And I can only hope that these readings find the people they need to, because whoever this is for, you have been through it and you are finding something magical in you. And oh man, this is what I'm here for. I'm telling you. Okay. I really wanted to get this deck too. I know I go so long with these readings, and I'm so sorry, but this, especially with this energy, this is incredible. So I wanna get one for this first row here, a shadow card, to see if we can just, further narrow this down. Just one, please. Just one. Oh my gosh. Stuff's falling out everywhere. Okay. Oh my god. Just one. There's a lot going on right now. Okay, just one for the first row. Without knocking all my other decks off the table, please. Something that could help clarify this collective. Mask for the first row. Confirmation, I think, that this addiction to the logical, or I feel over logical mindset where there was not a balance with emotion and logic. There wasn't a balance between the feminine and masculine kind of energy in you, because of a mask for protection. That's exactly what I see it as. And being honest, a lot of times when someone is like that, overly logic, maybe has like a very set way of how relationships and love should be, and that is logical to them. And anything that strays from that, no matter what the emotions bring about, they just kind of they just reject it because it's not in their mind logical to what they've set up in their mind to be logical. So the mask comes up to protect them in logic when they feel threatened by emotion bringing that mask, or potentially bringing that mask down. But this obviously that mask didn't last. something brought that Tower on. There's nothing here indicating that another person, but let's see what the emotional storm row and Tower says. Venomous garden. Beauty conceals truth beneath captivating lies. Beware the allure of the dangers that in the shadows hide. So I think that kind of ties into the emotional storm and the Tower moment. It feels the venomous garden, actually it really reflects this row too. Dangers that in the shadow hide, captivating lies. The garden was your logic, your thought pattern, the way you know, that part, the obsession with the logic. The venomous is the fact that it was a block for you. It was a mask. So, which in turn created your Tower moment. We tend to cover our lies in a more alluring truth for us, not realizing that we are actually kind of poisoning ourselves with poisoning our garden, with those thoughts and the things we are concealing either from other people or even from yourself. And I think a lot of time when this happens, it's mostly from what you're concealing from yourself. And in this case, that is exactly it. Removing masks, facing masks, admitting we have masks is confronting. It can bring feelings of shame for many reasons, either regret for it taking so long to take off your mask or realize it was there, or shame for I think a lot of people when they're healing, they tend to feel shame for needing to heal, like they're somehow like healing is a shameful thing, and it's not. To be able to take off a mask or even admit that you're wearing one for any reason, or and to look at, to reflect on yourself and something that doesn't feel right in your soul anymore, that's not something to be ashamed of and to get defensive or scared of. It's strength to do that. So, and even if this collective wasn't ready for it and was resisting it and didn't think they were ready for that, you have been shown that your mind is changing. You had been forced to go through it, had a positive change on you. And when that happens, that's when we kind of realize that there is no reason to be ashamed for wanting to change something within us or reevaluate a core belief. Because when we do those things and we realize how powerful and strong it makes us, internally with the love that it creates within ourselves, you stop feeling that shame for the things about you that you may no longer align with. So for this last row, procrastination. The ticking of the clock distracts me from the fact that my worst enemy hides in my mind. What was I just saying? Literally confirmation for what I was just saying. It's a it can be a mind game with ourselves of shame, for even needing to heal. Like, oh my God, I shouldn't even need to heal. I should have. No, no, we all have things we need to heal from and grow, but not everybody does the work to do it. Some people procrastinate on it. Some people just straight up reject it, and that's that is their journey. But this collective, you went through that, and there was procrastination, but I feel like strongly, you see now that procrastinating, holding back, that tower moment, trying to avoid it, thinking you weren't ready to change these things about yourself, about the core of your being, or the way you see just life, or how relationships should be, or how you should be, or how, whatever the case may be. You have gotten out of that mindset of it's a bad thing, or it's something to be ashamed of, and you are seeing that your worst enemy is yourself. And if you just get out of your head, take off the mask, change the way of thinking, let the universe kind of show you where to go from here, you are on that path. And that is incredible. Like, I'm really, I want to keep going and going with this reading because I really like it, and I hope that it's going to find the person or the whoever it needs to find. This might be a good place to wrap it up, but I don't know. I'm just still. I hate having you guys just stare at a nothing while I speak and look through my decks. You know what? I'm gonna get this one. Yeah. This is my spirit animal deck, and it's by Kim Kranz, The Wild Unknown. She has a couple of decks. I have her archetype deck too, which I debated on using right now, but I felt like this particular collective would resonate more with an animal kind of vibe. So what I'm going to do is just for further clarification, the animal energy that this collective is in right now as you're watching this, after having been through this, because this collective, you will have been through this already, don't make it fit, but after this experience, let's see, for further confirmation, what your animal energy is right now. Lion! Shut the front door. Lion energy after that is fantastic. Let me find the lion in here and read it to you. Lion. Patient, regal, a complete master. The lion is a master of the fire element and the living mascot of self-transformation. So you could be a fire sign. A lion personality dedicates their life to personal and spiritual growth. This dedication inspires some and intimidates others. Therefore, the lion is respected by all but known intimately by few. Some mistake the lion as hard to access or aloof, yet those with a keener eye know better. Lions are observant, stealth, and precise in their words and actions. They do not waste energy or resources. This card reminds us that self-mastery is available to all, no matter where our quest begins. When in balance, you are the epitome of peace and strength. When out of balance, withdrawn, too serious. too logical. To bring into balance daily meditation and friendship. Daily meditation, I think it goes along with the spiritual journey. But you know, people meditate, pray different ways. It doesn't matter. But the lion, where it says observant, stealth, precise in their words and actions, they do not waste energy or resources. That is so reflective of this King of Swords here. So that is not energy. I like that it's not in reverse, because it's not energy that you want to lose through your tower moment in your journey. That is good energy to have. It's just finding the balance with the emotion that you've kind of put a mask on from and avoided. And this, I think, is showing that from that logical standpoint, you can see now how this has changed you, and how it, even though it hurt like hell and it was hard, you see how it was worth it. You see the logic in it. So that was a strong foundation for you, that logic mind, because you can see the purpose for it now, and that will push you forward. And the fact that it says in here that aligned personality dedicates their life to personal and spiritual growth. I got this feeling as I got this card here, that it letting go, kind of accepting the journey, is going to excuse me, literally push you for more growth and strength. And it's giving you the strength to keep going, find more ways to grow. And I don't mean like actively seek out things, you know, to change and try to, but as they come up, you have that strength, you have that desire to let it happen now, to learn from it, to grow, to find the logic in it with the emotion. So that is absolutely fantastic. I mean, the tower moment is not fantastic. That that hurts. That sucks. But what I feel is the outcome here, which I don't usually do, like a past, present, or you know, that kind of reading. I don't aim for that, but that is exactly what I felt as I did this. So, so this collective, you are magical, and you are in that lion energy. That is awesome. I hope this has helped someone. I hope that you guys will keep watching and see what other shenanigans we can get into. Love you, bye.